and we are streaming on YouTube.
Red State played today. I went to Red State. I went to Western and I went to UK.
So how many schools did you attend?
I attended a lot of them. Over down, they won the championship last year in Division II. I had to go to the game.
Oh, okay.
So I've been to a lot of schools. Yeah. I'm gonna watch Morehead State play today, and I watch UK play too.
West goes tomorrow.
Yeah, I watch Western play too.
That's my office.
Okay.
What time do you play?
I did. 25.
Right here. Well, I'll be at
I'm
home.
off.
Not all, but I'll be working from home. I'll probably be because I can't do. I know more time.
You know, it's basketball. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I already started. Where have you been? That's all the whole country talking about.
Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't doing no work.
On every station. Oh.
Okay, it's 9 o'clock. And we'll call the meeting to order, ask for confirmation of the form and confirmation of public notice from the executive director.
We have a quorum and public notice was sent.
I guess in terms of attendance, I talked to Commissioner Cheney earlier in the week or maybe last week. She may or may not be joining. She's taking care of her partner in terms of pretty serious injury and some surgery. So it requires really round the clock care and support. So she will be off and on in terms of being engaged with us. And any requests for public participation? Okay, so the next item is consideration of and approval of minutes by February 15th, 2024 meeting. I have a motion to approve those minutes, or if there are any corrections or additions to them.
The motion to approve the minutes.
There's a second. All those, Commissioner Henry second. All those in favor of that approving minutes, signify by saying aye. Aye. The opposed? Minutes are in fact approved. We move immediately to section reports, and first up is the executive director.
Good morning. Really quickly, I kind of want to go backwards on my report that I gave you. We still have not received or signed a lease agreement for our permanent space, but we have. Everything is complete with the Hayburn building. We're completely out of the Hayburn building right now. And they are making modifications. We saw it. They have started the build out on our permanent space location. And so we're hoping for sometime in April that will maybe April the 15th or the end of April, we'll be able to move into that location.
We heard anything from Real Properties in terms of supporting us cost standpoint on that space?
Not at all.
I guess the meeting's scheduled follow-up call with them.
We've met, and in the last week, we met with our new GTR, our HUD GTR, which is Anne Marie Dolce, and she's going to be working with us at least temporarily. And we've been talking about HIMSS training, reports that are in HIMSS, and how we read those reports and how we submit our cases and what's needed. And Cedric's going to give you more information in his report about an update about our case processing and housing. We are working, Marianne and I are working on the audit recommendations that were made to us, and we have recommended that we it was recommended that we provide the updates to that audit or the corrections to that audit by April the 30th, and we will do that. And those recommendations were regarding implementing a record retention policy for our intake cases in housing, to implement a plan to ensure that we have sufficient staff to meet our obligations under FAP rules, and to implement a case process system in which we can track all the intakes housing intakes that we receive. And this is only intake and it's the inquiry, so it's completely separate from the case investigations and enforcement. But when they did the audit last year for us, one of the things that they repeatedly said is that we had no written record of exactly what we did and why we did it in many cases. And so we're working to change that. We have no current personnel updates. You see here that we continue to encourage professional development of our staff. Brandon is continuing to work on budget trainings and information classes. We are also cross-training Karen Cottrell on some things so that she can be backup for housing intake. And so she's taking intake and housing basics, for housing's a basics right now. There were 43 cases that were submitted for my review and approval, and we have the cases there. Have any questions about those? And we're still seeking recommendations or for nominees. We're still applications for nominees. We're still accepting those until May. And Juan will give you an update on that as far as what we are seeing. We still need any recommendations that you all may have for any judges that you would like to see in place for the nomination process. The induction process. Are there any questions?
Cynthia, will the Hall of Fame nominations that were submitted previously be reviewed as part of this group?
Yes, they will. We probably will go out and ask for some additional,
Right.
but yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Cynthia? And let's note that all of the commissioners are now in the meeting. Okay, next items go to budget and personnel. Brandon.
Good morning. You have my report before you. I will, the Senate released their version of their version of the House bill, which is currently in committee. And I've got an addendum that happened after our report was already put together. I have shared it with the members in the chat. And it is more favorable than the original. I didn't notice it. Cynthia Fox actually caught this when we were preparing the letter. The bill that was passed, HB 6 that was actually passed, was significantly higher than it was when it was introduced. So now you all have all the versions, our current budget. So what we are currently looking at is basically continuing our current funding from fiscal year 24.
So the House Bill 6, is that the one that's now in conference?
That is correct. It is now. That's correct.
Vacant positions came back.
And you're telling us they didn't cut the $200,000?
That is correct. That is.
Any questions on the budget information? Okay, what about on the financial report as a whole?
I just had a curiosity question. Electricity went down, it looks like about 40% on this bill. I know I'm catching you blind.
No, that's fine.
And it's item, E2, 1, 2.
Yeah, so we had not paid electricity since we moved into this building for December, January, and February. We just made the payment for, they said December in their email for this building. We just made that a few weeks ago, and we did not pay for December and January in our previous accommodations yet. So
Okay.
that is,
We shouldn't pay for
so well, I hope not.
it. In fact, we'll get a refund.
You could make that argument.
Okay, no questions on budget? Okay, let's move to mediation and sign.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. You have my report before you. It has been a busy month in mediation, which is a good. 4 out of 6 mediations were successfully resolved, and the other 2 are still pending. So hopefully we'll have 6 out of 6. Scheduling for the month has not been as busy as March. I'm assuming because of spring break, but we are scheduling out into May and June.
So the March 18th one did take place?
March 18th. Oh, which one? I can look at that. Jones, yes. Shouldn't have said that. Yes, that did take place, and that's one of the ones that is pending. We're continuing the negotiations, and we sat for a full mediation, and we're just.
Any questions for Simon? Okay, hearing none, let's go to the enforcement unit, Cedric.
Good morning, everybody. We're moving cases. We're doing good. I'm happy over here. We've been meeting with Ms. Dosey. We have about 54 cases submitted for closure for this processing year, which is July 1st to June of this year. So July 2023 to June of 2024. We have 52 submitted and more on the way. That's just what we have closed. Out of those, 37, as of right now, as I speak, 37 have been reviewed, 6 have been rejected. We're looking into that with Ms. Dosey right now to see what the rejections are. But the positive aspect of this is 31 cases have already been reviewed and accepted by HUD. We only have to do 40 per contract. So we're well on our way there with that. Also, on top of that, we still get funds for cases that are approved over the 40.
Yeah, I was gonna
So-
ask that question.
Yeah, we do for now, employment, no, employment's different. We don't per contract is per contract. Housing, yes, we do. So I'm thinking there's a goal there of getting more than 40 approved and paid for by the time we get to the end of June. So that's the goal. There is my goal was 70, but I don't think we get to 70. That was very ambitious.
Why not?
That's a good question. But the way she's understanding the reviews and things like that, the timing. But maybe we can, I don't know, but we are moving them. Employment's doing well. We already, if you look at the report, we have 67 submitted out of 153. And remember, that doesn't end until September. The end of September is when their contract ends. And we're already at 67 submitted with 51 accepted. So they're doing well.
And EEOC, where they don't necessarily pay us upfront for additional cases, they can amend the contract, and that usually happens around May or June. They can give us an upward modification if we're at that point where, so we can get paid for additional cases for EEOC as well.
In your employment cases, when you, under the language, it said period to date, 10/1/23 to 4/21/24, that's the typo, should be 3/21.
Yeah, let's stop that. That's a typo. Sorry about that.
Problem.
And also the numbers in employment right now, as far as how many are on that list, is never gonna be accurate to the day of. It's always gonna be the past month because we have the 14-day waiting period for what's it called? Reconsideration. I'm about to say recertification, reconsideration. So always remember, that's really a month behind what you're seeing on the report because we gotta wait till the 14 days are up. We have been meeting with Ms. Dose, who is from HUD, who is our GTR, and she's been going over everything with us and just making sure that we're closing the cases out and doing a good job of doing thorough investigations in regards to housing. I also just completed a training. It's called Training the Trainer with EEOC and allows me to train new employment staff as they come in. So that's one thing we have under our belt is I have that certificate to train new staff on employment cases as they come in. Hopefully we don't need any new staff for years to come, but you know, who knows?
You got some vacant positions, fill them.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get there. But outside of that, I don't have any more for my report. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Under the employment public accommodation cases, it says that, it goes through the number, it said one is under substantial weight review. What does
Yes.
that mean?
So that's when substantial weight review is when EEOC is reviewing the case. So that means that a complainant has went to EEOC and has said, hey, I have some questions, sir. And so they'll look at our case and see if, and make sure that we did a thorough investigation. Also, one more thing I wanted to add, our oldest housing case is actually a conciliation, and I think you're gonna review that today. That's our oldest case, as far as housing is concerned. I just want to throw that out there.
Any questions, Commissioner Cedric? Okay, so go to education and outreach.
Good morning, Commissioners. Just for the records, my name is Juan Peña. I'm the Human Rights Specialist for the Human Rights Commission, the Education Outreach Unit. Ms. Mary Ann Taylor asked me to give her report. You have her report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. If I don't have the answers, I will just get it from her. But a couple of things I would like to point out. Ms. Cynthia Fox mentioned about the 2024 Kentucky Civil Rights Hall of Fame. That's one of our biggest events this year. And we certainly encourage the public to submit nominations to nominate their civil rights leaders. And so the deadline is May the 3rd, 2024. And I believe that the location for the induction ceremony will be in Hopkinsville, sometimes in November. So we have been actively sending out invitations, inviting community leaders, organizations to submit nominations. The other thing that I would like to mention is that next month, April, is known as the Fair Housing Month. This is the time many organizations across the country encourage that extra effort to educate the public about fair housing laws. So if you know of any organizations who can use some training about fair housing laws or who needs training about fair housing laws, we're available.
You didn't show up in Frankfurt to give them any training. They need some training.
I will
Give
be
that bill that they passed over the governor's veto.
It's
I'm on investigation.
I know. Yeah, yes.
But no, I'm absolutely amazed that in this day and age, at this time, that our legislature would vote for and authorize discrimination.
This is in reference to the
I thought all money was
social
good money.
income.
I thought all money was good money. So
Yes, yes.
I believe.
But that's my report. Is there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you all doing anything in the schools during Fair Housing Month? Like, have you passed like contests with students or anything, or promoting in school systems?
Not I'm aware of it, but I think we are open. Is there any school that needs us to be there and give a presentation, we're open. And we're still short on staff as we still doing intake, so we're kind of just trying to
Yeah.
balance, yes.
And did have a question about the train the trainer, event that you all attended that training. Is that to go out and train other housing officers in the community or what?
That's only employment, and it's only for me to train investigators. So I train investigators how to investigate employment. Now, it could be altered to, give general information regarding employment, but that part would go through me. But it could be altered to just give general information, but it is general information embedded in how to investigate those
Can
claims.
you train the make common citizen to be an investigator?
You can, you do.
Like,
You can, not necessarily, well, he can work with like the local commissions, where they may not be doing investigations, but they refer intake to us. And this may assist them getting us exactly what we need from intake. We also can go out to, as you said, the regular citizen and explain to them their rights and their responsibilities under the law. And so we can do that as well.
I didn't know, you know how they have those programs for like community policing and that kind of thing. I didn't know if there's a way to have a community housing training for people to help, since we're short staffed, and to help to identify or within their purview what they could do as a citizen if they see housing discrimination, to assist commission and, gather data, gather information. And
You would still have to have a complainant unless, of course, we did commissioner initiated complaints based on that information we got from the public. You still need to have someone who actually, the adverse action happened to.
right. But I meant like where we can train, like in different cities, train citizens to be,
Watchdog.
yeah.
To do basically what Lexington Fair Housing does.
Yes. Is that something that you can possibly do that would?
I think so. In the past, we have done trainings for the community action centers because they deal a lot with low-income families who have housing needs. And so if they do some information that might be a fair housing issue, then they refer to us. But certainly that we can revisit that and redo it again. And certainly we can also mention what fair housing laws when we are doing it or presentation to police departments. And in the past, we have done quite a few trainings for the I can't remember the city, the Paducah Police Department. And I like the idea to insert information about fair housing information.
You can get individuals that are bilingual, they can, maybe a Spanish speaking group, we can get, different groups that can be watchdogs. Help
Testing.
say, spread out. Say,
Don't forget too that we do, and I went to the training yesterday, we do mortgage lending. We do investigate those regarding housing. I don't think people the Commonwealth is aware solidly that we do also investigate lending as far as loans for housing, mortgage lending, appraisals. We investigate those because those are part of the Fair Housing Act. And I don't think the Commonwealth is really aware of that because I've not seen one since I've been here. And we had a few of them when I was here the last time. So I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, and HUD gave a training yesterday. This is the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Yep.
Put a presentation yesterday about the lending and servicing related to loans. It was pretty good. I learned a lot from it.
The
And I think
statistics were
yes,
alarming.
and also they provide a place where to get data and looking into what the banks are doing, what they're required to do. And it makes sense when I got the training. And I think we're gonna have that link of the PowerPoint presentation on their website. So I'm gonna see if I can find it. They say about 4 or 5 days.
No, the links, the slides are there now.
Oh, it's
The
like,
video is recorded it. The video is later, but you can get the
I
slides
get the
now.
video. I think it was very good. It's 2 hours training, very informative.
Speaking of which, the Urban League and Rebound, which do, I guess, training with potential homeowners and all of them in terms of getting them. Are they aware that if in fact in the process they find a situation that they can refer that, or at least direct folks to us to be able to follow up in terms of some of that lending or the absence of lending in certain neighborhoods and all of that?
I don't know if they're aware.
I don't think they
I
are.
don't think-
We will make them aware.
And I think there are several organizations, I guess, across the state that does it. Only reason I talk about Urban League and Rebound, because I know about that here. I don't know what happens in other cities around the state. Any other questions for Juan? Okay, hearing none, let's go to the legal unit. Cole.
Good morning, everyone. You got my report, some case updates that I'm happy to answer questions about. Otherwise, no significant to the report. Say for this one, I'm happy to report that the so-called backlog in legal has been cleared. We have worked through those cases that had hung around a little too long, and we have closed them out one way or another, officially. We, as a unit.
Well, it was so easy for you to do that. We struggled for months, at least, I guess, for 2.5 years trying to do that.
Well, that's been
What's the
something.
magic?
Well, no, I mean, there's none. That's something I've been working on for 4 years. Really. I mean, when Joe was here, we obviously had some work to do on that. I mean, but that's been something that has been an ongoing thing. And we're happy to, there's no magic wand, just a little hard work and attention.
It's good to hear.
No, we're pleased. I mentioned it last month that we were going to attend the externship fair at the law school. We did that. Spoke to some folks that were interested in what we had to say. I will be going to Paducah next month to speak about fair housing at a fair housing luncheon hosted by the city. Legislative update, other than the source of income bill that you've already touched on. There wasn't a whole lot that I spoke about last month that has changed, save for one. House Bill 170 would include the ADA amendments into the KCRA. That is posted for passage in the House, I think, for today. So that's one that is significant for the KCRA. Other than that, a lot of them have stalled out in committee. We think so. That's all that I have. You'll notice on the agenda that there is a post cause conciliation agreement. And I think it'd be appropriate to ask for a motion to approve a settlement agreement and discuss it in closed session.
Any questions for Hope relating to his legal unit report? Okay, hearing none. May I have a motion pursuant to KRS 61.8101C to go into executive session? Pending old litigation. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Okay. Motion passed. We're now in executive session, and we're going to tell me who can remain here. You, the executive director.